Today we will talk about this concept of amortization. Amortization essentially means how a debt is repaid over a period of time. It also means how the value of an asset is depreciated over a period of time. However, in today's discussion, I will limit the talk to the repayment of debt, as we call it, amortization. I will share the PPT and then I will explain you the concept. So this is amortization. Now, what is the meaning of amortization? Amortization is like this: when you take a loan from a bank, so you have to repay that loan over a period of time, which you call installment payment. Many times we call it EMI, equated monthly installment. Now, when a bank gives you a loan, it charges interest on the loan, on the amount of loan that you have taken, and also the outstanding balance that remains on different debts. Now, this charging of interest by the bank can happen in two ways. The one way is called the fixed rate system. Now, in a fixed rate system, what happens? The bank charges you interest at a fixed rate. Therefore, the EMI that you pay or the installment that you pay over a period remains constant. Now, the other method of charging interest is called a floating rate system. It is also called a dynamic rate of interest, where the interest rate changes over a period of time, and hence the EMI amount that you repay to the bank over a period of time also changes. Now, this in this floating rate system, the interest rate is fixed based on some benchmark rate. The benchmark rate could be the repo rate of the RBI, or it could be the bank rate of the RBI, or it could be some other index. So it is linked to some benchmark rates. Now, beside these two, fixed rate system and floating rate system, there is something called a teaser rate system that is very common nowadays in banks. What happens in this kind of interest rate system? Banks will give you a loan where the interest rate will remain fixed for a few years, which are 2 years or 3 years, and then it becomes a floating rate. That means for the initial 2-3 years, the EMI that you are going to pay remains constant. But after that, the EMI that you are going to pay becomes variable because the interest rate charge is floating. Now we'll take an example to understand the meaning of amortization and how it is done. This example is related to the fixed interest rate system. So here the repayment that the borrower will make will be of equal amounts of installment. In this question, I have mentioned that a loan of 22,000 at an interest rate of 12% compounded annually to be repaid over 6 years period. Calculate the installment dues and show the repayment schedule in an amortization table. Now, first what you do, you calculate the PV amount, PV of annuity factor. So what you do, since it is 6 years, so 1 divided by 1.12 to the power 1, 1 divided by 1.12 to the power 2. Like that, you calculate 1 divided by 1.12 to the power 6. So you get 4.111 is the PV annuity factor. Now this number 4.111 you can also get from the annuity table, PV annuity table of present value. You can also get. Now, a little bit about the repayment schedule. Now, when a bank gives you a loan, you repay a number of EMIs in installment. Now, the principle is the present value of all the EMIs or all the installment that you pay is equal to the loan amount. So, the loan amount is equal to the present value of all the EMI that you pay to the bank. So that is the formula. Now this way you can calculate the PV annuity factor, and then what will be the annual installment? This is the 22,000 is the loan amount divided by the factor, this PV annuity factor. You get 5351 as the installment amount. That means for the next 6 years, this borrower has to repay 5,351 every year to the bank to square up this loan of 22,000 rupees. That is the way it is done. Now we'll look at the alternate method of calculating this loan amount. Now you can also use the PV formula to calculate the EMI amount. As you already know, the present value of an annuity PV, you can use this formula: A into 1 plus R to the power n minus 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n into R. Here A is the installment amount that the borrower has to pay to the bank. R is the interest rate charged by the bank. N is the duration of repayment. Now if you put the numbers here, you will get the annuity factor. So 22,000, and then you put all the values that are there in the question. So 20,000, again you get this 4.111, which is same as the number that we have calculated in the previous slide. So you can use the formula, you can use a manual method as per the previous slide, or you can look at the annuity table to find out this figure of 4.111. Then the annual installment amount will be 22,000 divided by 4.111, that is equal to 5351. So in different ways you can calculate the installment amount. Now we look at how the amortization table is made. Now two things you have to notice. That first one is interest is calculated at the rate of 12% on the balance dues. For the first installment, the interest is on 22,000. Balance dues of a year is equal to balance dues of the previous year minus principal amount paid in the last installment. When I explain you the table, you will be able to appreciate. So these are the two principles. Now, this is the amortization table. Now, this amortization table shows how the repayment of the loan is made to the bank. Now, the initial year 0, the borrower gets a loan of 22,000 rupees. Now, as we have calculated, every year from year 1 to year 6, the borrower has to repay 5351 to the bank. Now, this 5351 is divided into two parts. One is called the principal part, the other one is called the interest part. Right? And then you calculate the outstanding dues, outstanding principal. Now, at the beginning, the outstanding was 22,000. On that, when you charge 12% interest, you get 2640. All right. So installment amount is 5351. The interest amount is 2640 that you pay. Therefore, the balance is the principal. How do you calculate the principal? This installment minus the interest amount, you get the principal. Now, this principal is reduced from the original outstanding of 22,000. So you get a reduced principal or reduced outstanding of 19,289. Now, in the next year, what happens? You pay interest on this amount, So the EMI remains constant all over the year, but the interest rate reduces. So this here in the second year, the interest is 2315 and the principal is 3036. So when you minus 5351, 2315 from 5351, you get 3036. So the principal amount increases, the interest amount decreases. So you continue in that process. You will find on the 6th year, when you pay 5351 as the last installment, the interest amount that is paid is 573. What is the interest? This interest is paid on 4777. This was the last outstanding. On this outstanding, you pay 12% interest, which is 573. All right. So this is the interest amount, and this is the principal amount, and the balance is 0. So you will notice from this table that the EMI or the installments remains constant, 5351. The interest amount gets reduced over the period, and simultaneously the principal gets increase over the years, and the balance decreases over the years to 0 on the last year. Now we take another example to understand the floating interest rate system. Now in this example, what I have mentioned that for the initial 5 years, the interest rate is fixed. That means the individual has to pay the EMI at a constant amount. But for the subsequent, I think 10 years, he has to pay the EMI at floating rate. That means he has to pay at a variable interest rate system. So the EMI amount will change. Just read the question. You bought a house for $6 lakh on 1st of 2005, paying 10% of your own savings and financing the rest with 15-year mortgage that requires interest at 3.5% per annum, compounded and paid quarterly. This interest rate is fixed for first 5 years, as I already told you. Afterward, the interest rate is floating. Calculate the EMI if the interest rate is increased to 7%, B, if the interest rate decreases to 2%. Now, as you notice, the interest rate is how much here? The fixed rate interest rate is 3.5%. And how frequently you pay? You pay quarterly basis. So in a year, you repay the loan 4 times. Now we look at the formula. The formula is PV is equal to A into this one. We have seen in the previous question. So interest rate here R is equal to 3.5 divided by 4. Why divided by 4? Because you are repaying the loan on a quarterly basis. So there are 4 quarters in a year. So 3.5% divided by 4. So you get 0.875%. And how many repayment installment? Total 15 years repayment. So 15 into 4. So 60 quarters. So you will make 60 payment of 60 times. Now the PVA factor, when you calculate, you put the numbers in that formula, you get the PVA factor is 46.52. Then how do you find the installment? So installment A will be the loan amount divided by the PVA factor. You get 11,606.71. What does it mean? It means that for the first 5 years, you will pay installment of 11,606.71. And how many installments you will pay? In 5 years, in 1 year, you pay 4 installments. So in 5 years, you will pay 5 into 4. So 20 installments you will pay. Now, after initial 5 years, the outstanding balance on your mortgage equals the present value of your quarterly mortgage payments for the next 10 years. Now, as the question says, after 5 years, the interest rate charge will be floating. So you must know what is the outstanding at the end of the 5th year. Now, how do you calculate the loan outstanding at a particular point? You calculate the PV of all unpaid EMIs. So if you calculate that, that value gives you the outstanding on a particular day. So you put the formula PV is equal to this one, put the numbers. This is the EMI amount, this is the interest rate, this is the number of installments that is pending. 10 years installment, 40 installments is pending. So if you put these numbers, you get this 390,301.55. So that is the outstanding loan that the borrower has to repay at the end of 5th year. So during the next 10 years period, the borrower has to pay in number of installments or to pay in 40 installments to clear this dues of 390,301.55. Now there are 2 situations. One is the interest rate goes up to 7%. The other possibility is interest rate goes down to 2%. Now if the interest rate goes up to 7%, the quarterly rate will be 7 by 4, 1.75%. So this becomes the revised interest rate for the floating rate interest system. And then you put the formula, same formula you use, you put the numbers and you get this factor 28.59 as the annuity factor. And the loan amount is outstanding is 390,301.55 as we have calculated in the previous slide. Now the installment A will be 390,301.55 divided by 28.59, which is nothing but the annuity present value factor. And then you get this EMI amount of 13,651.68. So what is that we notice here? We notice here that the EMI amount has increased. Why it has increased? Because the interest rate has changed from 3.5% to 7%. So with the change in interest rate, the EMI amount will also change. Now we take the other scenario where the interest rate goes down to 2%. So quarterly rate will be 2 divided by 4, so 0.5%. Now if you put that same formula, you get the annuity PV factor as 36.17, and then when you divide that annuity factor on the loan amount of 390,301.55, you get this value 10,790.16, which is the new EMI amount. As you notice, the interest rate has come down from 3.5% to 2%. Therefore, the EMI amount will also come down, and it has come down to 10,790.16. Right. So floating rate system has a kind of a risk associated with the repayment amount. So in a fixed rate system, it's fixed throughout the tenure, but in a floating rate system, it will keep changing depending on the changing interest rate. If the interest rate increases, the EMI amount will increase. If the interest rate decreases, the EMI amount will decrease. Now we'll go to some other tips related to this amortization. Now, how do you calculate the total interest that you pay on a mortgage? So what you do, you use this formula: the EMI that you pay, number of installments that you have paid minus the loan amount. If you do that, you will find out the total interest that you have paid, because you are when you are paying the EMIs, you are not only paying the principal, you are also paying the interest. So if you take out the loan amount, you will get the interest that you have paid to the bank on your loan. And the next one, which we have already used in the solving the numerical, is that how to calculate the outstanding balance on a mortgage on a particular date. How do you know what is the outstanding balance? Let us say you want to square up a particular loan much before the date of final repayment. So you need to know what is the outstanding dues which is there on a particular day, so that you can square up the dues. So how do you calculate? You calculate the present value of all the unpaid EMIs. Let us say you have to pay 100 EMIs. You have paid 50 EMIs. Balance 50 EMIs are pending. Now the outstanding dues on a loan will be equal to the present value of all those 50 unpaid EMIs. If you calculate that, you get the outstanding dues. So what we have understood today is what is amortization, how when you take a loan from a bank, how it is repaid in installments, and what kind of interest system that exists. One is called the fixed rate system, the other one is called the floating rate system. We have also understood how in a floating rate system, the EMI can change depending on the change in interest rate. I hope you have understood this concept of amortization. Thank you very much.